YouTube, what is up? So, back at it again with the Marvel Legends Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave. This is going to be the House of X wave. Yeah, man. Really, really dope wave. So far, I'm digging it. We took a look at Moira McTaggart already. That was a long video, man. We had a lot to cover. As far as her character in the House of X and Powers of X. And I say Powers of X because that's kind of like where we see her first, right? And it's the same thing with this Omega Sentinel, right? The first time we see her is in Powers of X and not necessarily House of X. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, Omega Sentinel. Her real name is Karima Sharpenter or Sharpenter. She was a heroic Sentinel actually, and her first appearance was in X-Men Unlimited Volume 1, Issue 27 of June 2000, created by Chris Claremont and Britt Booth, who was the artist. She was a member of the Acolytes, Marauders, X-Men, Genoshan, Excalibur, and the Omega Prime Sentinels. So she is a Sentinel. However, she was a heroic Sentinel at first, right? Her powers include super strength, resistance to injury, regenerative abilities, flight, and has weapon and mechanisms which retract into her body, and she can also speak to machines. So pretty dope character. She was a police officer in India, and she was actually transformed into an Omega Sentinel by Bastion, which is kind of cool because we're getting a Bastion pretty soon in the HasLab box set with the Sentinel itself, and yeah, so that happened in Operation Zero Tolerance. She was dispatched to help Thunderbird, um, and they end up like falling for each other at some point, and then they were looking for missing mutants, including his brother. And at that time, that's when she was captured by Bastion and was turned into an Omega Sentinel, right? So from how she got to that point to this point is kind of weird, but it's yeah. Anyway, we're gonna try not to get into all that, and we're just gonna go with at some point she was disassembled and put together by Rogue's X-Men team, with the help of Beast. They kind of put her back together, and eventually she ends up getting that second look, that head that came in there. That's not her original look, including the body. This is more of a modern look for her, and that head, the secondary head that comes in this package with her, that was kind of her second incarnation. Her first look, she looked way more human than machine, but as she is a Sentinel and pretty much nanite based, right? That's how she gets like her ability to switch out her arms and do all this other stuff. But when she was put back together, she started working with the X-Men, and she was pretty much a heroic Sentinel, like we said earlier. She was sent on a mission with by Cyclops along with Hope, Colossus, and Hellion. And she starts to have glitches in her system, and eventually her Sentinel half started to take over, where she identified Colossus, Hellion, and Hope as threats, and Hope being the biggest threat. She couldn't help because of her Sentinel side, but try to attack them and get rid of them, especially Hope being that she was the most powerful mutant there at the time. So she attacks them. She even, shoots a blast at Colossus and knocks him out, and she goes on to attack Hope, and she ends up hitting Hellion, and then she's what she had left of her human side. She tells Hellion like, "Hey, you got to stop me," and sure enough, Hellion ends up taking her out. Um, the last I remember, if my memory serves me correctly, she was then put into like some type of chamber and taken to the X-Men base, and then when she came back, that's why we got that secondary head, and that body is not the her original look. The colorway is spot on, but this is again, House of X, and how she gets here in this position, and excuse me, Powers of X. I'm not really too sure. I probably have to do some more research on her and try to see how she ended up working with Nimrod. So in the comic book, we kind of talked about how the story begins with Moira, and in the same issue of Powers of X issue 1, this is the first look we have of her, and she's with Nimrod, and this is gonna be somewhere around year 100, where mutants are being hunted by humans, uh, along with machines as well. Sentinels, and Nimrod is a Sentinel, and the Omega Sentinel. And there's other Sentinels as well that you're gonna see pop up in here, including the Tri Sentinel, right? And so before we get into that, we will show you somewhere in these pages where there's the Tri Sentinel. There we got the regular Sentinel, and then they capture one of the hounds that's a mutant, and then they take them into custody. And actually, I think that hound there is Rasputin's sister. So yeah, man, dope story. If you haven't looked into this, it's up to you. But look at that, man. That's really, really dope, and she's pretty awesome character. And the cool thing is, like, we got that look from this book in the 3-pack with Psylocke and Phantom X, which is pretty cool. And I'll whip that out in a second. But yeah, what else can we say about her? Let's go ahead and look at that. Read up there. Harnessing the power of enhanced sensors, flight, and nanite. Nanite regeneration. Omega Sentinel dispatches enemies with ease. So pretty dope read up. Like, it's a really good look for her. And let's go ahead and crack this thing open. I don't know if that UPC is gonna help you guys at all at the moment, but there it is. And yeah, man, really good look. Let's go ahead and pause this. So here we have both out of package, and I gotta say, man, this figure is actually clumsy and doesn't balance well. No, maybe that's just my fault. But why is it that every time I turn the camera on, something falls over? But I don't think she has an issue with standing. I think that's just a me thing. Right? All right, steady. So yeah, I'm actually glad I got 2 of them, because even though, like, they've been doing a really good job with paint, this one has paint missing on the nose, probably rubbed up against the plastic. So I'm kind of happy about that. And the arms are interchangeable, if we don't know that by now. So we got several, I can't really say several, but we got a few different looks where we know that she has the ability to switch out her arms into like cannons and all this other good stuff, right? So those are her regular arms there. Got a couple of hits of red in there, but pretty much just all plastic gray, like a semi-gloss look, but really cool. Here's the head sculpt that we got on the other one. And this is the look that she has in the Powers of X. Really, really good look, man. Done well. And then we have the blasters she came with, right? Arm cannon. And this one actually has like a port in it. And okay, that's just the second piece. It doesn't rotate or anything. But yeah, it has a port, so maybe we can port something in there. I think, it could have used some coloring in here, like as if it was powering up or something in this one. But it's just solid gray plastic. Same thing, same plastic as the arms. But yeah, man, pretty cool. Really dope. I really don't want to get into too much articulation on this one. But yeah, man, it moves really well. The only issue is with this leg as far as kicking. They tend to turn out. I hate to be spoiled and say like, oh, we could have used like drop down legs on most of the figures from now on. But yeah, we probably can. And this one is all pinless. Whether or not that's to discourage customizers or just better technology, better look, I guess. Um, Really good figure, man. This is surprisingly good. And I'm not saying that this is gonna be like, yeah, look at that. How these shoulders pads try to kind of ride up and will give you some good range. So really good figure. I didn't really have any issue with taking this out. It just pops right out, and then you can just slide something, one of the arms, right in, and that at yeah, really good look, man. I'm pretty happy with this figure. I gotta say, I'm pretty satisfied. And here we can go ahead and switch out this arm. And it's a really, really good look. And the range of motion in the upper torso is really good. I mean, you do get a little bit of gap there. Doesn't go all the way in. But man, this is an awesome, awesome figure. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with it. And, I just can't wait to get that Bastion. And, let's go ahead and whip out Nimrod. So, we know she's working with this guy. And this Nimrod is pretty dope, man. But the more I kind of play with it, the more I kind of wish the wrist articulation was a little bit better. But it's actually not a bad figure. And let me just kind of make it look a little good. Make it look good. Took those out. And there they go. And this one, we've seen the head already. And this one is actually really good. The lipstick on this one is actually perfect on both of them. Some people have been having issues with that. This one just has nose rub. But man, awesome figure. I suggest you guys do some reading or look up the videos I was talking about in the storyline, man. I think you guys will appreciate these characters, and maybe you'd be more inclined to buy them or not. I mean, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you're just, a classic Marvel 90s fan, or, whatever. You know what I mean? To each their own. And really good figure. And this seems not too top heavy. And then we got the upper torso to the Sentinel. And this guy's coming together pretty nicely. So yeah, man, we're gonna have. I was kind of complaining, like, damn, dude, we didn't get enough villains in this wave. And then I'm like, wait a minute, the Builder figure is a villain. And even though Omega Sentinel started off as a hero. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, this storyline is just taking her in a total different direction. Let's see, we got a little bit of range of motion here on this torso piece. And on this one, I kind of plugged the leg in so you can see how that's coming together. But I think that's going to do it, man. I don't want to spoil the storyline too much on her. But that was her first appearance with this look in this comic book. So, yeah, man. If you guys are inclined, please like, subscribe, and as always, take care.